Hi, and welcome to Can I Be Honest with Megan Coleman. Today on episode 4, I sat down with Amanda Sullivan. She has a 3.5-year-old son and a 2-month-old daughter. Yeah, so today we talked about the transition, the hardships, and all the emotions that come along with going from 1 to 2 kids. She opened up to me about what it was like while her husband was away in the beginning of their son's life and what she's facing now with his upcoming deployment. We laughed a lot and we really just related on so many levels, so I hope you guys enjoy. All right, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. First, I want to say congratulations on your new little baby.
Thank you.
She's precious. She looks just like you.
That's what everybody says. Everybody
Yeah.
says like the eyes.
Uh-huh.
Or either that or identical to Noah.
I'll have you go ahead and start from the beginning with Noah.
It was a surprise. He was a surprise. Me and my boyfriend, now husband, where we were kind of just got back together.
Oh.
And then I found out I was pregnant. He's in the military.
Uh-huh.
So he was gone on a summer training camp when I found out.
Oh, wow.
So I was pretty upset, not gonna lie, but just because I was not expecting it, not prepared. I kind of didn't even want kids in the beginning. But then...
How old were you when you found out?
I was 23.
Mm-hmm.
23. And I had plans to move to San Diego, but I wouldn't change it for anything. He's
right.
my world. He was happy. He was surprised but happy. We kind of moved in together, got an apartment, and then he proposed to me when I think I was like 6 months pregnant.
Okay.
And then we had our son.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 months after that, we got married. We just eloped in Tahoe.
Yeah.
And then he had to, he basically accepted this position to become a pilot, Black Hawk pilot for the military.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to move to Alabama. And so when Noah was 3 months, he had to go to a 3-month training in Alabama.
Oh my gosh.
So I was by myself basically for Noah's first year. He then came back for 3 months and kind of was there for a little bit, but then moved to Alabama for 2 years. So I went to Alabama, or I moved in back with my parents for a little bit. Me and him moved out to Alabama for, I thought would be a while. Yeah. I only lasted 3 months because 1, I was with nobody.
Yeah.
2, he was my first diaper change. I had never been around babies. I've never done anything with babies. So it was all new to me. And it was a very lonely time in Alabama because he was all gone from basically 6 in the morning. Sometimes wouldn't get back till night, had other stuff. So I'm like, I can't do this with a new baby. So we moved back and then lived with my parents for a while. And
like just you and Noah moved back, or
just
everyone?
Just me and Noah. He still stayed until for 2 years, in Alabama. And
you guys were married, you said?
Yes.
At this point.
Yeah, at this point we were married. So basically I raised Noah by myself for the first 2-ish years. I had the help of my family. I helped my sister. My sister helped me a lot, which was fun because basically we just hung out. Just this boy who was so funny. And
were you working at all?
I wasn't. Okay. No, I started with my photography business.
Oh, right.
So right when my son was born is when my husband surprised me with my camera. And so that's how I kind of got into that. And then that was kind of like, because you kind of get into this like slump or at least I did when I gave birth. I was like, who am I anymore?
Yeah.
I wake up. Yeah. What is life? I wake up. I do this. I never see the outside world because, well, 1, it's just hard, and 2, who has time to get ready or want to pack up a car? And so I didn't do a lot for a long time, and I needed an outlet, so that's why I did the photography thing. So yeah, we did that for a while. is crazy. My son is the craziest boy I've ever met in my entire life. So my husband graduated flight school the beginning of last year. We were able to get an apartment together. We lived there, did that whole thing for a year, and then I found out I was pregnant. And then we found a house. We bought it.
Congratulations.
I think 3 weeks before I gave birth.
Oh my goodness.
So we had to pack up, move, unpack, get a whole house. And then I gave birth to my daughter now, who is 2 months. And it's been a transition.
Yeah.
She's the sweetest thing in the world, but she's a mama's girl. So no one can hold her, no one can watch her without crying. And then my son is very jealous, very, very, very jealous. Doesn't really show it with her. He absolutely adores her, but acts out so bad with me. I can't. It's to the point where I don't even want to like talk to her in front of him. I like wait until he goes outside, and then I'm like, oh hi, hello, because
look at me, look at me.
Yes, it's either put her down, let me sit on your lap, or he just has been acting out crazy. Like tantrums are off the chart. He reverted in potty training. He was fully potty trained and started just pooping his pants.
Oh my goodness.
Every single day.
That's what I hear happens. I held off because I was like, I don't. Yeah, we'll just say that's the reason.
No, it was smart because then you would have had to do it all over again, like I did for 2 months. He completely was just done. I was done doing potty training, and then as soon as she came,
pull-ups again. Diapers.
Yeah, just pull-ups, and he would hide and poop, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, this is not what we do. It's gross. And he would hide and cry because he knew, like, I don't know, but we're finally past that.
Good.
Now it's just the crazy attitude tantrum.
Well, because he's 3, right?
He's 3.5, yeah. And then on top of her crying all the time, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, how does she sleep?
She's actually really good.
She
sleeps through the night sometimes until like 7 in the morning, or she'll just wake up one time at 4. I'll feed her and she'll go right back. Yes,
that's a lot.
Was the worst experience ever in the beginning. I had the same experience with Noah. It was horrible, and I ended up not producing enough for him, so I had to supplement, which ultimately went to just formula. Yeah. And then with her, I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get through this because it's a challenge accepted. I'm just gonna do it. And then, so for the first 2 weeks, I was producing enough milk because I went to a lactation consultant, enough for triplets.
Oh my gosh.
So I was constantly engorged for the first 2 weeks. No matter if I pumped, no matter if she fed, I was never relieving the pain. So I was sobbing basically every day. She couldn't latch on because there was nothing, like, it was just so rock hard. And so her latch was so bad that I was bleeding and scabbed, and it was just absolutely horrible until I found nipple shields. Those were my saving grace. I would have given up if I didn't know about those. I tried them when I was still like scabbed and bleeding. I'm like, oh no, it's still the same pain. And then a little time went on and I tried again, and it was just like, it just healed me up enough, and now it's just second nature for us. Cool. So hopefully my supply stays and I'm able to do it, but so far so good. Last time my son went down to like failure to thrive because I didn't know. I'm like, oh, it's just a small baby. He's like, no, he's small, he's too small. I'm like, oh, okay. So this time she's like a chunky monkey, so I'm like, I know I'm not producing enough.
So you're pumping and breastfeeding.
I stopped pumping just because I was tricking my body into thinking I needed more every time I pumped. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stop doing that. I now am to the point where I don't even need to pump. It just, whenever she feeds, it's kind of like it's kind of on a schedule. It'll just come, but I never fill up.
Yeah.
Which kind of scares me because I need like a little bit of a stash in case I need babysitting.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So I was able to store I think over 20 bags in the beginning. The first like 5 days.
So you were just,
I had so much. So that stash is still, I still have a lot just because I can't really drop her off anywhere.
Yeah.
Because she won't go with anybody.
Yeah.
But I need to figure out how to build up the stash. Because I am now, she won't take a bottle. So I've ordered every bottle you can possibly think of. And we're just going through that journey now.
I mean, like, that was Maddox for me. He didn't take a bottle until he was 9 or 10 months old. Not to scare you, but yeah, so I was never able to leave him, and I never pumped because like I couldn't leave him anyway, so and I hated pumping, so I just gave up. And so I literally was never away from him. He breastfed for 10 months.
Yes, I feel like that's gonna be me.
But I couldn't imagine it being my second one that did that. Like, I not forced, but luckily Oliver took a bottle right away, and he's been on formula since he was a month or 2 old, and I was just like, I can't do it.
No, it's too hard.
Way too hard.
Way too hard.
Yeah. Well, and he also never slept, and so I literally would just rock him all night long while he nursed, and if he fell off, he'd wake up and start nursing again, and like that was my night and my day, and so I was like, this is not gonna work.
No,
yeah.
You're just a zombie.
Yeah.
On top
and then
of
you have
having
a
kid.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel for you. Yeah.
Well, it's better now, but yeah, that's how it was then. So I, on my way here, I was trying to think of this conversation, and I was like, I wonder, I just need to check on her. Like, this is the part that's the hardest right now in this transition, and I don't know who you have to relate to, if anybody. Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah,
and it's because I'm. Yeah, those first couple weeks. Well, and my husband got in a motorcycle accident 5 days after she was born.
I saw that.
Yeah, so I couldn't even be like, can you hold her real quick while I get something for him? He was chair ridden in our living room. Couldn't walk. Couldn't hold. Couldn't do anything. He was in the ICU for 3 days. And then,
for one.
Yeah,
he's okay.
Yeah,
but
he's totally fine now. But
for
in
you,
the
that
first
sucks.
week of having a newborn, on top of the whole breastfeeding and bawling and and the toddler, I was literally like
alone.
I'm alone and by myself and just gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
To the point where I was like, I can't take care of you right now. He's like, can you help me like take a shower? I'm like, no.
Can you help me?
Yeah, you gotta sit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So when he was gone with Noah, was there resentment there?
Or
was it
little
just
bit.
like understanding?
At first, it was just because it was just I'm like by myself and doing this all on my own. But then we kind of got into like a schedule where it was fine for me because I had my mom, I had my dad, I had his parents, and my sister, and we just kind of made it. And
I mean, I'm sure it was hard on him to be away from his newborn son.
And I made sure to send him like pictures every single day just so he got an update. So it just and then when we went out there for 3 months, and then I think we went back when Noah was like 9 months old and stayed for a couple months as well. So he kind of got to see him, and I don't know, it was hard in the beginning, and I was like, you suck for leaving me. But then it got easier, and then I was like, well, whatever, this is my life now. But this time now he's experiencing like all the baby stuff, but he's unfortunately leaving next year for a year to Afghanistan. So I'm like, you're gonna miss, well, at least you're gonna be able to be here for the first year that you missed with Noah, and you're gonna experience that, but you'll just miss her second year. So
and I really can't even imagine. So you had mentioned you have your family.
Yes.
So they're like your rock.
Yes.
Is his family local?
Yeah, they live right in Loomis.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. And
so you've got everybody here.
Yes.
That's nice.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
And then even like my aunts and my grandmas, they still like are able to help me out too. So
yeah. What kind of emotions did you go through you know, when you found out you were pregnant with Adalynn?
With Adalynn, we kind of tried a little
Okay.
bit. So we weren't necessarily like full on trying, but like, well, let's just see.
Yeah.
And it was the first time.
Uh-huh.
I literally got pregnant the first time.
Yeah.
And I was excited. We were pretty excited, but then I was like, the days where Noah was absolutely insane, I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I don't know what 2's gonna be like if 1 is this hard.
Yeah.
So that was a little mind-boggling at first, because I'm not good with, well, I have a little bit, like, I've come to realize I have anxiety, and I didn't know that before, and now it's to the point where it's not like the skin crawling anxiety where like I'm gonna come out of my skin. It's more of like I can't breathe.
Yeah.
So I'm dealing with that now, which is fun.
So much fun.
It's so much fun. So
when did you realize that?
When she came.
Okay.
Before, I think it wasn't as bad to where I couldn't breathe, but I would get
going crazy.
I was just going crazy. So when I found out I was pregnant and going through like the full first 4 months of my pregnancy, I was so sick. I had to like army crawl from my bed to the couch because I couldn't eat, I couldn't do anything, and then Noah was just like, let's play. Like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
So I was just, I'm like, maybe we should have waited a little bit longer. But then it got better, and then I was excited again.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I can relate in those emotions. I mean, I know it's hard to express them and say them out loud because you're like, this sounds terrible, and I'm talking about my baby that I adore more than anything in the whole world. But everybody knows that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, no, so when you say it, I don't want you to feel like people are like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But because after having Oliver, I remember looking at Peter and being like, I regret having another baby.
Yes.
And like, I felt like the worst mom in the world for saying that out loud because I didn't regret him.
Yes.
I love him so much and he's so great. But I was like, this is too, I can't do this. Like, if I could go back in time, I would not have done this.
Yes,
like, I would have the same baby just later. I just think that that's something that a lot of people, unless you go through it, they wouldn't really understand that feeling.
So, it's just very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Very overwhelming. And even like, I mean, she's only 2 months, and I get to the point where I'm like, okay, you need to take Noah and go. Like, go somewhere.
Yeah.
I need just one baby at a time right now. I can't do it. And with his tantrums, it's just made it even like, oh my God, like every morning.
So what's like a normal day in the life? Like your husband gets up and leaves and you're...
Yeah, so he gets up, I think his alarm starts at 4:30, and then he gets out of bed, I think at 5, goes to work, and then Noah gets up around 8 o'clock, and then I'm still a zombie because getting up at 4 and feeding, usually that's when she feeds, and then she wakes up at 7 and feeds, so I'm like, okay, well, let's just make your breakfast and then you can watch your show or you can go outside. He's a very independent boy right now, so that's a blessing. I can just say, you know, go outside, do your thing. He goes on a little remote control car or plays with our dog or does a lot of stuff, and I just go out there and we have this like swing chair and I just rock her and watch him. And then pretty much just do that all day until my husband gets home, and then he'll usually take Noah and go somewhere, just get him out of the house because I'm like, I don't have the energy to get up, get ready, get out of the house, or even get out. Most of the time I don't get ready. This is like the first time in a long time. But I actually feel like myself.
Right?
I don't remember what it looks like with makeup. So yeah, we just basically hang out at the house. I don't really like going anywhere. I don't think I've ever gone anywhere with both of them
so you
yet.
haven't gone like grocery shopping or anything like that?
Online Walmart pickup.
And that's what I did.
That is a blessing.
Except they don't do formula. Like, I shouldn't say that. So like formula is super hit or miss these days, and so if they don't have it, they're not allowed to bring you something else. And I found that out the hard way. It was like the worst day, and I did a pickup, and the number one thing I needed was formula.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting out there waiting, and of course, like, it was taking forever. Both kids were screaming in the car, and I, to the point where I just got out and was standing outside the car, and the kids were screaming in there. And she comes out, and she's like, "How are you? Did you see we weren't able to get that?" And I was like, just staring at her, and I felt bad because I actually cussed at her, and I've never done that before. But I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And I just stared at her, and she was like,
that's like the one thing I need,
and that's what I said to her. I was like, that's the only thing. I don't even need any of this rest of the stuff. And she was like, "I'm so sorry, ma'am."
Totally.
Other than that, it is a lifesaver. Yes.
Yes. But yeah, the car rides are even going, because we just moved to Fair Oaks, and so my parents live right over here. It's about a 40-minute drive, and she hates the car seat. And my son loves to sing at the top of his lungs. So she'll be crying so loud, and he'll be with his sweet little obnoxious voice screaming basically, and I feel like I'm gonna go insane. So it's to the point where I'm like, I want to go, but I don't want to deal with that. So then we're just stuck at the house all day, but I'm like, I need to get out.
No, Oliver was the same way too. Cried every time we got in the car, every time, and I couldn't handle it. Like, I don't handle babies crying very well. Like, the sound is terrible, and it's worse when it's your baby. Because then you get just like this just feeling, and I'm like, and my husband doesn't get it, and he's like, "Calm down, like, he's a baby," and I'm like, "No, I can't." I don't know if you lose your shit.
Oh, I do. And it's, well, I lose my shit with my son, because I'm like, "Noah, like, you have to stop," or you have to stop.
There's no option.
No, you can't do this. And or he'll like laugh at her, like, at the same level as her crying, and I sometimes have to pull over, get out, or I would scream at someone at lungs, because that one thing to test your patience is go in the car with my kids at the same time, and you will see.
I'm just trying to have a thought.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Pay attention to where you're driving.
So we just bought a boat yesterday,
I saw that.
Hopefully we will be able just to get out of the house in the evenings when my husband, because my husband usually gets off around 4:30, so it'll give enough time. It will just be us. We'll just go.
My husband will be very jealous. He's been asking for a boat for years.
Something for Noah to do, because I mean, I feel bad because he was the baby, but he was just, everybody would give him all the attention at all times of the day, and even with me, I feel horrible sometimes. I'm like, I know I'm not giving you as much attention as I was before, but you know, little sister needs to be held right now, or you know, I need to change your diaper, or and I feel bad for him. So we try and take him somewhere, make him feel special, at least, you know, a couple times a week, just because, I mean, he's not the baby anymore. And I can totally tell he is hurt by it. So it makes me feel horrible. Or like, you know, my patience is run thin from the time I wake up, basically. I'm like, I'm over today. I'm so over today already. Because he will wake up, come in my room and be like, I want breakfast. And I'm like, okay, well, let me get up. And as soon as I say I will, when I get, or like, give me a minute, he'll throw a fit. Like I just opened my eyes, and it's already beginning. So it just starts the day just already as a downer. I'm like, really? You really just can't not throw a fit right now?
Not to keep, I just feel like we're going through a lot of the same stuff right now. Like, Maddox is the same way. All of a sudden, first thing, and I know every morning, I know it's coming, he wakes up and I can hear him crying in bed, and I go in there and he looks at me and goes, I want daddy. And I'm like, daddy's at work. And then it's just tears for like 15 minutes, and I'm like, and that's really the beginning of the day, every day. And I'm like, but anyway, sorry. It's just, I know it just starts the day with your patience already gone. Like, really? Really? And now I have to, you know, spend the rest of the day dealing with all of this every day. So
can tell like I'm really short with him, and I feel bad. And I'm like, every day, I'm not gonna, you know, bark at him or, you know, not give him what he wants, because I'm just like, you know, later, just chill, like stop. And every night I feel bad, and then every morning I'm like, dude, really? It's like this vicious cycle where like try hard, I fail,
you give yourself
mom guilt, and then, you know,
same thing over and over again. No, my God, like our lives sound identical right now. Do they sleep in, is Adalynn sleeping in your room right now?
We have like a little co-sleeper in the middle of us, just cause,
on the bed.
On the bed. It's like the Snuggle Me, have you heard of it? So we put her in the middle of us. Noah fortunately sleeps through the night, sleeps in his own bed. It took him until 2.5 to basically sleep through the night. I used to wake up probably 5 times every night, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this if Adalynn does it again. But he's been great with sleeping. She's great with sleeping. So I feel like that's my saving grace right now, is being able to get a night's rest, because I don't know what I would do if I didn't.
You'd go crazy.
I would go crazy. And especially with like keeping up with the house with 2 kids, like, and I can't put her down. If I put her down, it's automatically screaming until I pick her up. And so sometimes I have to put her down and, you know, cook him something, or at least straighten up so my house isn't a disaster every single day.
Because you have dogs too.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you hate them or do you love them?
So the dog was, my husband got her in Alabama. I begged him not to, because I could foresee like, hey, we're gonna be, we were living in an apartment. She's like a German Shepherd. So I was like, and I begged him, and he got her anyways. So he was like, I will take on all the responsibility. I'll do it all. I'm like, sure. Okay. So fast forward till now. He doesn't do anything. And I'm constantly like, hey, you know, is there food and water in our bowls? And he's like, oh no, I didn't get to it. I'm like, I know. I did it. So she's a barker, and like she's a really, really good dog, and has the most patience with our son, which is really great. But I'm like, you just woke up the baby. Like, you could die. I'm gonna kill you. My husband is on this kick where he's like, let's get another dog. I'm like,
absolutely not.
Hell no. Like, what is wrong with you? First of all, and 2, like, sometimes a puppy's worse than a baby. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. And I feel like the husbands, maybe, they, well, at least my husband, he's like, you need to like calm down. Like, you really want to tell me that right now? Like, really?
Is this a good time?
Because with our, like with Noah, I go freaking crazy sometimes, to the point where I like bawl my eyes out, like call. And especially with the potty training thing, it was getting to me, because like, who wants to deal with a grown, it's a grown man's poop and his pants after he's already, and I would, at first I was like, dude, like, what's going on? Like, and then it got 2 months in, and I'd be like, what? You did it again? And my husband was like, you have to come with him with you know, being so nice and like patience. I'm like, no. And so I'm like, you know what? You're dealing with it. And it was to the point where I would just take him to the front, drop his pants, hose him down because it was everywhere. And I'm like, you can go about it when you get home, because I'm not dealing with this anymore, or I'm gonna lose my mind. And I don't like screaming at him. I don't like yelling at him, and I would just get so angry. But I'm like, I can't not right now. I can't not, or I'm gonna cry. Either that or cry.
See, I'm really bad about like I'll throw things. I throw things like toys. Or I'll kick them when they're a toy and I just picked them up. It's like, you need to chill. And I'm like, did you just see the arm I had? Like, stand in my way.
Yes.
So,
oh
yeah.
my gosh, this is the same.
Yeah. Or yeah, I just cry over the weirdest things because it's
just pent up.
Yeah.
It's pent up.
So anyway, do you wrap her at all? Or
Have
have you tried?
She didn't like it.
Yeah.
I have these wraps that she's like in between sizing, so it's a little bit bigger, and then I'm gonna start wrapping her again to see if, because her arms are just like this, and she wakes herself up, but if I swallow her, she'll just cry even harder. So I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Did you swaddle Noah?
He didn't like it either. He always had to have his hands at least like right here.
I didn't swaddle either of my kids, and I feel like you follow all these like social media moms that like they have them in these perfect little swaddles, and they're like precious, and then they wrap them and they're like walking down the street, and I'm like, my kids hated both of those things. They hated being confined, and so it makes it so hard.
I mean, I bought because you follow all these social medias like, oh, well, I'm gonna buy that, and I'm gonna buy that. So have you heard of Wild Bird slings?
Yeah.
So I bought one of those. I don't even know how to freaking do it. So I'm I just bought this, and I don't even know how to put you in
$200.
it. Yeah. And luckily I saved all of like the baby wearing stuff from Noah. So I had the baby Catan or whatever. So she sometimes is good with that, will like actually fall asleep, but I can't really like lift my arms or like bend over, so I'm like, well, it's basically me like holding her. And she just got, I just tried the Baby Bjorn today because it said 8 pounds, and I'm pretty sure she's over 8 pounds. She didn't really like it, but I think she could like it. So I'm gonna keep trying with that, because it's either that or I'm literally just holding her all day. I'm not able to do anything with my hands. So we'll see. Hopefully that works out. Or I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Right. I feel like that was something that I struggled with so much. Mentally feeling like, because I follow all those social media accounts, and a lot of not even just like the mommy, anyway, I just see all of these moms like wrapping their babies and that kind of stuff, where I literally felt like nobody understood. Like, my life is so much harder than everybody else's, and why don't my kids let me put them down? Why can't I get anything done? Why does my dog bark and nobody else's? Like, literally, I actually thought that I was the only one who dealt with all of those things.
We're twins.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But that's what contributed so much to all of my anxieties, because I felt like I'm still bad at this. Yeah.
Same. And, like, with me, I feel like I've watched all these moms, and they have, like, a nighttime schedule where they brush their kids' teeth and give them a bath and read a book and even cooking dinner. Like, I will cook you your meal, but I don't think we've ever had me cook a full dinner for all 3 of us and sit down at the table. And never done that. Don't have a bedtime schedule. And I see a lot of moms that are like, oh, we're reading our book and brushing our teeth and taking a bath. I'm like, well, you went in the pool today. So that counts.
And then with 2, it just is baths. Now it's good because Oliver can sit in the bathtub with Maddox, so I can just throw them both in there. When I was having to bathe them separately, I'd be like, I don't know how many days it's been.
Well, luckily with Noah, he just goes in the shower. I mean,
so
my husband.
The shower.
Oh, really? So I'm like, okay, your dad's taking a shower. Run in there. Go in there. Go. Take your shower for the day. With her, it goes like 4 days. I'm like, crap, I haven't bathed you. Which I heard for babies, it's okay because it dries them out. I'm like, okay, it's like justified a little bit.
That's how I was with Oliver too. I was the same way. And Peter was like, when did you have a bath last? And I'm like, yesterday. And in my head, I'm like, Sunday.
Hopefully it'll get better with that.
It totally will.
And I heard from a lot of people, they're like, well, if have this schedule and maybe his tantrums will get better. I'm like, but it's so hard. Like, who wants to start the night at 6:30 and because he goes to bed at 9:30. Just that's how it's always been, and he sleeps until a decent hour. I'd rather him stay up a little bit later than get up earlier. So 9:30, and we just play until then. And I'm like, oh shoot, it's 9:45. You better go to bed.
And he's 3.5. Like, I hear that 4 is the hardest stage. Sorry. That's what I hear. I mean, obviously.
I believe it.
But yeah.
I believe it.
But like they say terrible 2s, but I think it's like 3 and 4.
Yes.
And then by 5 they kind of figure out
Hopefully.
their emotions a little bit better. Is he in school at all?
We have him on a waiting list for a preschool that starts in, I think, September.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't work out, then I'm gonna have to find something. But preschools are expensive.
Really? I literally haven't even started looking.
I didn't even know where to start, and then I started looking, and I'm like, oh, you just sign them up for preschool. No, it's like $500 to $600 for these like little private whatever schools that you see off the. This one is through our city, so it's it's like $175 still. Yeah, I'm like, but why?
Yeah. Are you nervous? Like, do you think it's gonna be hard for you to take him? No.
Not at all. Yeah, I think it'll better our relationship, giving us a break.
Mm-hmm. And letting him get his energy out.
Yes, and I think he loves kids.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely loves them, and I think he'll thrive in it. But he is crazy.
Yeah.
He's crazy. So I'm curious to see if he will stay in it, like if he's not kicked out for disrupting, because he was in tricks, gymnastics, and he was the kid that was always having talkings to and distracting from the class. So I'm like, great, hopefully this isn't the case in preschool, because I need him to go to preschool.
Right?
I need
don't keep him, please.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Please.
Yeah.
So we'll see with that.
So do you get any alone time at all with your husband? Is that a thing?
No.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a thing with before Adalynn.
Mm-hmm.
We would sometimes go out to dinner or sometimes go to the movies, but very, very, very rare occurrence. And now that Adelyn's here, and we can't bring Adalynn into the movie, so we can't go there. We just went to dinner for the first time.
The 4 of you?
Not with Noah.
Oh.
We will not bring the 2 of them at the same time, because he's going through a phase right now where outings is just not a good idea. So we need to work on that. Me and Dustin need to work on getting out, because it takes a toll on your marriage. And if I feel like if your marriage isn't like, you know, the
strong.
2 of you like strong, and you 2 are just like thriving together, it takes a toll on the whole like house. Like even like personally, you feel like you're not enough. And I know he's mentioned it, like, where's like my fun wife? I'm like, I don't know. It's not here right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully getting this boat will be a little changer. So we're like, hey, well, if she takes a bottle soon, we can be like, hey, can you watch the kids while we just go, hang out and do, have a night.
I was gonna say, like, you're super optimistic. I would be like, I'm not taking both kids on the boat. Like, have fun if you want to take them with you.
Right?
Like, that just sounds like such a headache, and that's where Peter always rolls his eyes. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm going to stay home.
Well, that's a little scary, having them all contained in one little boat and not having an escape. But
and, like, there's large bodies of water.
That's right.
Someone can go overboard. Yeah.
Oh, stay tuned. But I want to start hanging out with my husband.
Yeah.
My daughter needs to take a bottle.
Yeah, I mean, we're still struggling with that. We don't get alone time at all, and it really started to affect our marriage hard. And so we finally sat down and we were like, what are we gonna do about this? Because we don't really have many options when it comes to childcare. My kids are not the first grandchildren, and everybody around us has lives, and they're a lot of work, the 2 of them together. I mean, Maddox is 2.5 and Oliver's 9 months. It's like they're both in very difficult stages. So it's like, here you go.
Sorry in advance.
So it's not fun for anyone. So that's kind of why I was wondering, we're gonna start exploring maybe like babysitter options. I'm just a crazy person, And I don't leave my kids with anybody.
Same.
Yeah.
That's the couple of friends that I did. I totally trusted them. And
right.
Like, Ashlyn is the baby whisperer,
right.
so I'm like, I could trust her with anything. And Alexa has a crazy boy too, so I'm like, you can handle Noah too. But any like daycare I don't trust. I don't know. I'm kind of the same way. Like, I'd rather go insane and keep my kids.
Right. Yep. And then they grow up and you're like, oh my gosh, like I don't even remember being so crazy. Yeah. Like, do you feel that, like, looking back on when was Noah an easy baby and then turned crazy, or has he always just been wild?
He was, I feel like, easier as a baby. He had his moments, like his sleeping was really, really, really bad. But as far as temperament, he was really fun and really, 1.5 to now. So the past 2 years have been really hard with him, and it's just getting harder now. But yeah, the baby stage was super easy for me with him. We'll see how this little girl is. Yeah. She's testing it already, so we'll see. But
anyway, what are you most looking forward to in the future with your kiddos?
With my kids, I'm looking forward to a point where they are, when Adelyn's old enough to where they can like play together. I'm excited to witness that, just because Noah loves her. Like, he's obsessed with her, always wanting to like touch her head, and she's obsessed with him. From, I don't know, a couple weeks old, if he was talking around her, she would turn her head and start smiling at him. And I'm like, that's because he was so loud when I was pregnant.
Like, I know that voice.
Knows that voice. So she just lights up and is smiling so much when he's talking around her. So I feel like they're hoping, and I feel like they're gonna have a good relationship. Yeah. And it'll be fun to see them, playing together and having their own little just bond, and I will get a break.
So did you guys want, I mean, I'm sure you didn't really care, but were you hoping for a boy or a girl?
I didn't care. I was like, well, if it's a boy, Noah will have a boy to play with. Like, they can just be rough and dirty together. With the girl, I was a bit challenging in high school, so I'm like, I'm gonna get payback. Yeah. If it's a girl, and she's gonna be really bad in high school. But I was excited if it was a girl to play dress up, because boys' schools are so boring, and they have so many options for girls at stores. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like all these I can just dress her in. So I didn't care either way. Plus, to have like a little girl to like be a girl with. Yeah. Dustin wanted a girl. Oh, full on wanted a girl, 100%. He was hoping for a girl with Noah, and we already had a name picked out. So we used the name that we had previously for Adalynn. So he was really, really happy when it was a girl.
That's cute. Yeah. So you guys staying here?
Yes.
And that's like decided?
Yes.
I just mean like through the military. Is there a chance that you could be leaving, or?
No, he is in the reserves, so he works as the National Guard. But it's their turn to be
deployed.
I can't believe I just said that. So he is gonna get deployed in May of next year, and it's their turn. So that's after they do like that year, he'll come back, and then he's back to the reserves again. So
how do you
I don't even
do you just
know.
don't think
I
about
don't think
it?
about it.
Yeah.
Because like
you
even
can't
this week,
control it, so.
this week he's leaving for 3 days for a training in Seattle. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do everything by myself. And I'm like, well, it's just preparation for next year when I literally have to do everything by myself. And it's before, when he was gone in Alabama, I just moved in with my parents. Yeah. Now we own a home. Yeah. Like, so I'm gonna stay there. I'm gonna learn to mow a lawn. So I don't even think about it. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really hard.
Yeah.
Just
because Peter went camping for one night when Oliver was 2 months old. And I cried my eyes out when he left, when he walked out the door. I was like, I can't do bedtime by myself.
Right? That's what I'm nervous about. Like, I just give that to Dustin. I'm like,
yeah.
you take care of bedtime. You're gonna, you know, just put him in bed. We'll deal with the baby. And I'm gonna have to do it.
Yeah. It's the worst part.
It really is.
Bedtime sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't started thinking about it. It's gonna be,
I mean,
rough.
things are going to be so different. You can't, there's nothing you can do right now to plan. Yeah.
No, because she'll be walking, I'm sure, by then. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be, Plus, just, you know, the worry of hopefully it'll come back.
That, like, makes my stomach hurt.
Yeah. It'll be rough.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. We won't talk about it.
No, I don't care. I mean, we can talk about it. I just really haven't put any thought into it. He'll bring it up and I'll be like,
yeah.
It's
That's
gonna happen.
Yeah.
It is what it is, I guess. And well, for the longest time I was like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're not going. They'll change their mind.
Right.
And like 2 weeks ago he's like, yeah, well, there's a date now and I'm put into this like team. Like, oh, they got details now.
Yeah.
Now it really is real.
It's real,
Yeah. So
I mean, is there, you probably don't even want to let your mind go there, but is there a possibility that it could fall through? Like, he couldn't go?
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
I doubt it. Me and his mom are still like, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
it's a year from now.
Right?
It's not gonna happen.
I mean, that's how I would feel. Well, you have a lot of friends and a lot of support, which will be nice, but I mean, you're gonna miss your husband.
Yeah, totally. And it'll be an adjustment like last time, because even like he came back and I'm like, that's not how we do it. Like, that's not how we do it. And then he would get mad at me, but I'm like, we've established this routine.
Yeah.
You're coming home.
You gotta
get with the routine. So it's gonna be the same thing, and that's gonna be rough. Yeah, because it was a lot of like bickering and like, I don't know, like
a bit of a power struggle in a way. Yeah. But like not intentionally.
No.
It's just the way it was. Yeah.
Yeah. It was rough then, and it's gonna probably be rougher then, because it's gonna be times 2.
Yeah. Other emotions or anything you want to touch on when it comes to the transition? I mean, you're in the thick of it right now. So
my thoughts are, it's the roughest thing. It's rough.
Yeah.
And for like a lot of my friends who have kids that are like, yeah, how is it? I'm like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's horrible.
Yeah. It's
absolutely horrible. There's no other way to put it. Well, at least for the first 2 weeks, when you're when your body's adjusting, like for
recovering.
You've got a crying newborn, you've got a tantruming toddler.
Yeah.
That's the definition of hell.
Yeah.
To me. And plus having a husband that couldn't help at all. Like, let's just
not
add
only that,
more.
like, he can't help because he needs taken care of.
So and what my thought was, I'm taking care of you, I'm taking care of you, and I'm taking care of her. I need to be taken care of too.
Yeah.
I am recovering. I am emotionally shot.
Yeah.
Like there was nobody. And what was hard is my family, lives like almost an hour away. So it's not like, hey, can you come over real quick?
Right.
It's like, let's plan in advance 2 days. Can you come over or something? So that's what was rough. Before, I was literally living in a house with help, or our apartment was 5 minutes away. So I could just like leave real quick. Now it's,
and head over there.
Yeah. If I'm coming over, I'm probably staying the night, because I know. For anybody out there that wants to have kids, it's rough.
Yeah. It's very hard. Thank you. I think just where you're at right now, I'm glad that you're here kind of in the thick of it, because you're able to just be like, this blows right now.
Blows, but it's also like, it was even more rough than it is right now, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel, basically. Like, Yeah. Once you get, if you decide to do breastfeeding and you get through that struggle and you find like a routine, it gets better.
But yeah, so congratulations on
Thank
your
you.
family.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And I love watching them on social media. And if you ever need to talk, we have the same life apparently. So
literally, we'll just keep be like, is your kid doing this? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're not alone. Just send me pictures of him crying and I'll send them back. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe.